Hello everyone, welcome to join today's this very important session. This session will be very compact. I'll be going at quite a very fast pace, and I'll be addressing many topics and issues. So I will not be going deep, but I'll be going broad. So I hope you can kind of pay attention and not multitask too much because then you may miss what I shared previously and then you get lost along the way. So I encourage you to kind of stay focused for the next 45 minutes. I'll be sharing a bit of the program that is currently underway, and then I have a new cohort coming. But rest assured that it's fine, perfectly fine if you this is not for you, you're not joining, that's perfectly fine. I want to assure you that you get a lot of value out of this session. All right, so let me get the ball rolling and start on the today's topic on making the shift to the AI generation workforce, which will start to pan out in 2026. Over the next few years up to 2030, we'll see the rise of this hybrid AI workforce. And obviously, the question is, what is the role you play in this new workforce? Whether you are a company employee, a professional coach or consultant, or you're running your own business, this topic will be so important because this is what our professional lives are about, adding value to the workplace. So this is relevant for all of you. Okay. Uh, some of you may not be familiar with me. Some of you may have attended my programs before. I've been a futurist even before this term was common. Now it's like a lot of people call themselves futurists or AI expert, right? But I've been looking at this digital transformation and helping people understand the impact on industries, in companies, in their businesses since 2013. So that's uh, 12 years already. And I've spoken to some of the largest companies in the world, some of the biggest stage in the world. And my focus has all around been what is the impact of technology driving change so that as a futurist, I can give the perspective for companies and executives to plan ahead and make the necessary transformation. So this is the one testimonial by Google is a recent engagement by them on the future of work. So I work with the most senior team in recruiting Google's 180,000 strong workforce. So I was helping them with visualizing the future of the world and then the future of the economy, future of companies, and the future of talent. So some of these I'll be surfacing up and sharing with you. Although I'm going to apply quite a light touch rather than trying to explain everything in quite a long detail, given the we only have 45 minutes. So this will be quite an ambitious session because I'm covering the future of business and translating it down to the lower level. What does it mean for work and talent? And then for individuals, professionals, and business owners, what does it mean and what are the new skills that are required? So a lot of people talk about future of work from the perspective of today, uh, from the perspective of how the workplace evolve. I don't take that approach. I take it from the top down, how the world will change, how will you impact how companies are run, how value is created, and how does it cascade down to work, talent, and skills. So I'll give you a very holistic picture of how this big transformation of the economy in our lifetimes. So let's start with the future of business. Okay. So it's a topic that I've been very passionate about. We talk about AI every other moment in our life nowadays. We can't like live without it. Some people, right? It's almost we are using it so prevalently. But when I was talking about the AI economy, it's like something so fast-fetched, and many people think it's not in our even in our lifetime. But guess what? It's here and now. So when I came out and talked and wrote about this 4.0 AI-centric 4.0 model, that was in 2013. The next slide, I'll share with you what my model is and how it is a higher resolution than what is being talked about as the fourth industrial revolution that the World Economic Forum coins this term in 2016. So I'm definitely not jumping on the bandwagon or AI or this 4.0 model because I predated the concept and I've been uh, seeing it happening day by day as we speak over the last 12 years. So this is my model of how we are shifting from the muscle power to the mind power. So the original industrial revolution actually is in two stages. The first is in the using steam engines. Uh, and then the second one is where the takeoff really took place. That is when uh, we convert fossil fuel into electricity and then we distribute it throughout the economy. So that is the whole industrial revolution, even though most people don't know that it's actually in two stages, but that is the muscle power revolution. The thing to note is that the takeoff is not in the first stage that happened in Great Britain, but it's actually in the second stage. Because the first stage is the foundational technology, and the second stage is where the takeoff really take place. So if you fast forward to roughly 60 years ago, we had the uh, semiconductor invention, microprocessor, PC, internet, and so on, and to today's smartphone. This is the my power revolution, and this is the flat part of the mind power revolution. With AI and now being quite prevalent, we are going from information explosion to intelligence explosion. If you can't imagine what is intelligence explosion, just imagine 10 years from now. I mean, it's just an arbitrary number. 95% of all intelligence in the world could be non-human intelligence. Today, that percentage, again, arbitrary number, just to give you a reference, could be just 5%, right? So we are going onto a whole explosion of intelligence uh, everywhere and in everything. So that will drive this profound change in the economy, not just software intelligence, but also hardware in the form of robotics from nowhere to everywhere very, very quickly. So this is a very important juncture because if we miss this uptake, it doesn't matter what you've been doing for the past 20, 30 years, right? Because if you miss this next stage, then this is the real game changer. This is where all the action will take place. So every industry, I'm very convinced, every business is now up for reinvention. There's nothing that will be left untouched. Just like the electricity changed all industries, the reference point is not the internet, not social media, not PCs, but you go all the way back to roughly 100 years ago, the invention of uh, electricity. So we are really talking about the scale of reinvention that will happen in the next couple of years, and it will kind of sweep across every industry. So the concept of organizations, again, this is something invented. Uh, you can consider Industrial Revolution or even preceding that. since we are the first company set up by Dutch East India company. Organizations are hierarchical. These are all what we are familiar with, right? The roles, there's command and control, efficiency, compliance, to a new form of organization, what we call orchestration, about intelligence, information flows, nodes, autonomy, coordination, adaptive system, feedback loops. These are terms that are emerging. We are not even familiar with it because we are uh, in the process of creating and inventing that. So just roll back 150 years ago, before the Industrial Revolution, who would have known what is a factory, what is a supply chain, what is concept of organization, mass production, conveyor belt and things like that. So we are now on the verge of suddenly a whole new model of organization appearing in the form of orchestration. So visually, this is how it looks like, right? We are familiar with this classical hierarchy of how work is kind of distributed, broken down, specialized, and performed at the various levels, and then information flows up again. Uh, and obviously, we have more complicated versions of this in the form of matrix organizations, right? So this is in the next few years, this is the intelligent transformation organizations are going through. Some companies are already deep into this, especially those companies that are what we call AI first company. They are invented with AI as a core factor of production. And they don't have to transform because they are invented from scratch. So they are already having this kind of organization, fluid, adaptive, agile system as an organization rather than a silo-based structure that's very hierarchical. So we are really speaking about the concept of organization that's at least 150 years old now being rewritten and reinvented. This is a model that I created to illustrate just in a few years' time how knowledge will be, how knowledge, information, intelligence will just flow within the system almost without any human intervention. So the end user is someone who's buying something and using the personal assistant, and today that person will have to like search and look for the products that fit her own budget and interest and purpose. In future, it's all done by the AI assistant coordinating with at the platform level across multiple organizations, the master agents working with specialized agent, ecosystem agents is all orchestrated to eventually help the end user buy something. So if you take this example and extrapolate it across different kind of work functions, different kind of supply chain interactions, this could become more and more and more the standard operating model. So we are looking at this kind of transformation happening as we speak, as the technology stack is being built out, which is somewhat what is happening in the technology space if you're watching. So how does that translate to the future of I've been again talking about for the last 7, 8 years? It is about how we are flipping the model of work. So in the third industrial revolution, that's where we are kind of running at the tail end of. You have this workforce 3.0. It is technology augmenting the workers. So the core of the work is still done by humans. Machines does the dissemination, it does the data processing, it does some of the analysis, right? But the bulk of the work, the high value work, is still done by humans. So there are three kinds of generalized terms that are used, three kinds of workers. There's the managers, there's the experts, and then there are frontline people who are delivering the work. So that is running at the tail end already. We are in the great transition from workforce 3.0 to this new model where just now it was technologies augmenting humans. Now we are having the humans augmenting technology because technology will be doing the core work. So the old work that is being done by humans, more and more it will be collapsed and done by the machines. And then there's an outer layer that is being developed, and that's what I call talent 4.0. So you have these three groups of new kinds of talent, what we call entrepreneurial talents. So these are not just people who execute. Today, a lot of leaders just execute. They are very good at taking a playbook and scaling it, right? So entrepreneurs, leaders go beyond that. That's what we call one to N. A playbook, scale the playbook. Just expand according to that product or strategy. Compared to uh, entrepreneurs, leader, they are able to reinvent something from zero to one. So that could be a business model, that could be a new product, that could be a new ecosystem. So just contrast that as a Steve Jobs versus Tim Cook. So Tim Cook scale what the Steve Jobs built. And now Apple is looking for the next CEO who can do from zero to one. And then there are the experts who are your domain, whether it's a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, uh, different professions. But today, moving forward, they will become super experts. They will be uh, so much more effective and so much more creative, so much better output many times over when they are working with AI. And those who are kind of behind in their ability to co-work and co-pilot with AI, then they will be kind of losing out against the super experts. And then the third group are the people who build up the corporate ecosystems, we're going to upend the system, right? From today hierarchy into a new kind of uh, work environment. So these are the people who are revamping everything from the products to the orchestration to creating new value propositions for the business. So these can be technical people, or this could be business people, or people who are in between. So looking at what we are doing, we are bound to have to be one of the three. Otherwise, uh, our work could be impacted, and then we could become displaced by what the AI increasingly will be able to do. So Accenture recently calls its staff, 800,000 of them, reinventors. So whatever choice of words you want to use, but they are reinventing the system. And before that, they lay off uh, many people. I can't remember what's the actual number, uh, who they think are not able to become what I call the 4.0 talent. So I wrote about this in 2013, that by 2030, not in 2030, but by 2030, which has already happened, computers will answer work questions better and faster than people. Our value add will be in using our higher order intelligence to ask the right questions, run our business, invent a new product, and so on. And by 20, again, something I wrote in 2017, enterprises will deliver services at 10% of the manpower intensity. Many of the jobs of 2017 will be gone and effectively done by autonomous robots and AI cloud services. You can see this kind of playing out in from nothing to suddenly in the space of several years, from nowhere to everywhere, right? So that is the speed and um, the pace of how fast this transformation and disruption is happening. I believe that this will reach a tipping point by 2030, is suddenly becoming the norm everywhere in 2030. And there is a transition point, what we call the tipping point, that window in the next 3 years that this will start to take place and companies will start to prove, yes, this new model of work, it's clearly better, faster, cheaper than the old way of work. And then the rest of the companies will start to follow the leaders. And just in a few years' time, suddenly organizations are transformed. The 3.0 talent, most of them will still be there, they will not disappear. It's just that the value will migrate to people who are part of the workforce, part of the talent 4.0. So obviously, we want to keep migrating. Today, there are still people in workforce 1.0, mechanical economy, or people who are pre 1.0 in the agriculture kind of economy, but the value is not there. You know, the values all shift as you join a higher and higher version of the workforce. So this year is very monumental because for the first time, at least in modern history, the market cap of companies has risen. The figure show is 52%. At the same time, when companies are reducing headcount. So the market is rewarding companies for reducing the headcount, using more AI, and giving them higher and higher market valuation. So in the past, growth and market cap profitability, they are all tied at the hips, right? They all go up in tandem, very highly correlated. And this year is the first time in modern history that there's a decoupling. In fact, the more you trim your workforce and add AI, the more your market cap will go up. So this seismic shift is not imaginary, it's not theoretical, it's already happened. So what does it mean for future skills? Just now I mentioned a bit about the future talent. So what are the skills that these three groups of talent they need? So there's a perennial debate over generalists versus specialists. I believe this discussion is over. This discussion has been going on for decades and decades. And many of these prevalent, well-established knowledge will be irrelevant as we shift to an AI-first economy. So this is one of them, right? The argument, is it better to be a generalist or specialist? And then there's a variety of shapes. I believe that AI will be the ultimate generalist. It summarizes knowledge across domains. It's basically global knowledge that is absorbed. So it can be broad, can be very, very broad, broader than any human beings can be. So being broad, being a generalist itself is not defensible. And AI will also be the ultimate specialist. Again, it's now consuming a lot of content, a lot of knowledge, vertically in a particular field or industry or profession. And it can outlearn anybody in terms of depth, except for a few. There's always the 1% that is extraordinary, right? So AI will also be the ultimate specialist. Then the question is, does humans stand? Where does this skill set of whether horizontal knowledge or vertical knowledge is more important? To me, they are all still important, but you need to complement it with a higher shape. So what do I mean by that? The higher shape I mean is this infinity shape. The ability, and today with AI, not just with the internet or the library, learn very, very quickly, apply it in situations, get quick, immediate feedback, adapt, and learn and rinse and repeat. And every day with AI, you can learn many, many times faster than before. It's not about your starting point anymore. It's not about how good you are in a particular topic or your technical skills. Today with AI, it is a matter of how fast are you embracing this tool and how fast are you learning more than anybody else. So this is the both a mindset and a skill set, but everything starts with having a right mindset. So with AI as your core intelligence, infinities with this kind of career shape built on top of whether it's horizontal or vertical skills, it can learn faster, see further, connect across more domains, think deeply and critically, adapt smarter and innovates better. And uh, this is not just ad hoc, but very intentional, very uh, judiciously, very continuously, intentionally. So this is a muscle that this new career professional want to develop because the world has changed. It's not information on the internet or books anymore. It's intelligence that is live, is uh, contextual. It's learning. The world of professional skills has been upended with AI. So the professional with this shape, they have the cognitive agility to switch and cross different contexts. They have the aptitude in terms of seeing what everybody cannot see and making connections that people cannot connect. They have the aptitude and the capacity to reason, solve, and learn better than any other people. So it's no longer the starting point anymore. It's how much do we embrace this uh, and turn and iterate this infinite loop very, very quickly. So McKinsey, I love this report. It highlights 6 shifts to build an agentic organization, and it's no surprise that is a human AI frontier fusion, and just highlight some parts: social, emotional, higher cognitive skills, value brought in deliberately by humans using judgment, empathy, creativity, AI systems thinking, the ability to make ethical decisions. And this model, my infinite loop came out before that. And when I saw this, I said, aha, it's exactly what I have in mind. And the emphasis is above whatever shapes you have, you need to have a AI fluency and higher cognitive skills. So regardless of what is your career shape, now you need to build that higher cognitive stack. In fact, this was just a few hours ago. I just saw this today, and this is by MIT, and it says that we need to invest in our cognitive sovereignty, deepen it together with AI. Instead of being reduced by AI, develop teams that bridge human creativity and machine intelligence, and importantly, rethink learning programs, the organic analog kind of learning is over because AI can today help us to hyperlearn. So there are 3 dimensions of leadership capability. This is my own model, but it's not rocket science. As you can see, it's quite straightforward. You have the domain knowledge, you have the human knowledge, the human skills, you have the cognitive skills. So my bet is that domain expertise will be eroded in terms of humans' value add because AI can do a lot of the domain expertise already, and in some way exceed the human capabilities. There are doctors today, the patients would check what is my problem and go to the doctor, and the doctor will also use AI to confirm before telling the patient, right? So um, domain expertise will be much eroded. Human capabilities or human values, qualities, we know this will become more important as the world ironically become more artificial. because this is quite a sole area for human to human communications and to relate to one another. So this will have a higher premium in the future. But what really moved the needle is cognitive thinking, higher order thinking, the asking why, the strategic reasoning, systems thinking, all that will make a difference because this will be solving the right problem and coming out to build the right solutions and have an ecosystem that go along. So this will hopefully give you a good mental model of weightage of what to devalue a bit, what to emphasize a bit more in developing the skills of the future. So this is the part whereby I mentioned my program, the AI Generation Manager program. And the point is to upgrade managers from at risk to AI generation leaders. Who do you think is at risk? I would say by default, all of us are at risk because all of us are not skilled for the future skills of the future of the AI economy. So the workforce or business, and we are not skilled for the AI first kind of economy. So by default, everyone is at risk. Some are more at risk than the others, but we have to, as the economy upgrades, we have to upgrade in tandem or be left behind. So for these three domains, the program emphasize on the cognitive domain. There's obviously the domain aspect. This is going to be less important, but I mean, people should still work on it. Human skills, there's plenty of programs out there pre-AI for a long, long time, right? There are awesome programs out there. So what I see as the gap, I was developing this program. What is the gap that almost everyone needs, but they lack? So it's basically higher order thinking. So the program has a spillover effect to the other two aspects, but that's not the core emphasis. Then there's this violence about AI. At the base level is learning about AI, what AI is, general awareness. And then application, how to use AI, which most of us can use now, after 3 years of ChatGPT. Most of us are quite fluent, although we have our own style and way of using it. That is base level. We don't really cover that. Let's assume that you have that skill. The key is how do you accelerate your learning with AI? That's the next level. And how do you learn beyond AI? So the higher order skills that I cover is learning beyond AI. And the last step, the most important part, the most value adding part is anticipation. How do you shape the future with AI? By building the new skills, whether it's innovation or creativity. And later, when you look at the news, the 8 skills I'm going to cover, a lot of these address how to shape the future with AI. So for everybody else, just do literacy. But literacy is not enough. It's really about leadership. How do you embrace the higher order violence of AI, not just cover the base level? So this is what the Skills Future in Singapore, the National Skills Agency, called the critical core skills. So these are skills that are very portable from industry to industry, profession to profession, although the emphasis will be slightly different. So the AI Generation Manager program covers 10 out of these 16 with spillover effect to the other 6. This is the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs top 10 skills by 2030. So the program covers 8 out of 10. It spill over, no spillover in this case because networks and environmental is quite vertical knowledge. So these are the 8 skills. I had to think for quite long to kind of curate what is the most impactful skills, but yet most managers lack today. Those that will really move the needle. And these are not easy topics to learn and cover. And that's why it's quite hands-on kind of applied learning program. And some of these may be alien to you. Don't be surprised that what you do not know actually is the thing that is going to make the difference. So I curated all these 8 skills of what we need in the AI first economy. So the uh, feature of the program is 100% online by Zoom. We have participants all around the world, and we don't want to waste time traveling. Um, we have 10 sessions, 2.5 hours per session. So we'll cover opening and the close and the 8 skills in between. So every lesson other than the first and last, you're actually learning a new skill over 6 weeks. Um, it's very practical, it's applied with learning with your international peers. My current cohort, there's some from Africa, there are many from Europe, and then the rest from Asia. And the important thing is to anchor the learning using a capstone project. So the capstone project will have all these skills applied at every step so that the idea may be quite nascent and then when at the end it's actually very developed. And there's assessment and certification. And the next cohort is starting on 27 February. So the capstone project, either you imagine and reinvent a core business process, invent your function or profession, invent a new value proposition for a business or a new products or service. So preferably this is a new real project in your company you're working on in your business, or if not, the second choice is a fictitious, or it can be your last company, or it's a well-known company that you want to work with. So as long as you are using thinking and creative muscle to do uh, deliver your work, this will be all applicable to you. But I just want to highlight the last 3 groups of business owners and entrepreneurs who is like at the pinnacle of the company's workforce, right? Coaches and consultants, these are all relevant because we're all doing knowledge work.